Alright, I'll have my goth side tell you about this video. Have fun! Thank you. Alright, so this is a non-rant video. Maybe it could be. Up to you. I'll leave that up to you to decide if this is a rant video or not. But either way, this is for Northern Michigan, Munson Medical Center, and you know what, for that matter, nurses all around the world. You see, nurses don't get enough credit. And I've made the statement before when the mass shootings were going on during Las Vegas, that whole event. And the fact of the matter is, being a nurse is one of the most thankless jobs out there, along with a few others, but I'm not going to name those because it's not about them right now. But there are plenty of other thankless jobs out there, don't get me wrong, but nurses, they save lives. Way more than any other profession out there. And specific to CNAs, certified nurses, assistants, and registered nurses, specific to them too, is that, well, they don't get enough credit either. You know, the glory hogs and the credit stealers go to the medical doctors and you know, people of that nature, just because, you know, they went to school longer and they're the guy that has the last say or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, registered nurses, certified nurses, assistants, and people of that level in nature, they're the ones that are spending the most time with the patients. They're the ones that are putting in the 12 hours to take care of the patients during their stay at the hospital. They're the ones that are doing the emergency situations. They're the ones doing the blood draws. They're the ones that are doing all the caretaking. All the doctor really does is looks at the paper and says, well, this is what it is, and then basically leaves. But yet, somehow, some way, medical doctors are the ones who get all the glory. They're the ones who get all the, you know, hoorah and yay and woo and glorification. When in fact, all that glorification, all that attention, all that glory, all that everything should be going towards those hard-working registered nurses and certified nurses assistants. Plain and simple as that. They know that patient well, way more than the medical doctor ever will. They know that patient inside and out. They know their likes, their dislikes, how their personalities are, what's going on with them, maybe even their backstory. The medical doctor only knows what, I don't know, the first 5 minutes of meeting them and what they see on the piece of paper for differentials and diagnosis, reasonings, and so on. And sure, I get it, you know, medical doctors and registered nurses have two different jobs, albeit in the same field and such. They have two different purposes, and I understand that. But it still irks me, more than anything, that doctors get all the credit. And sure, yeah, they make the big old decisions. They're the ones that make the differentials and the diagnosis and the prognosis. But the simple fact of the matter is, registered nurses are doing 10 times more work than the medical doctors ever will. Even if they didn't go to, you know, the full 8 to whatever years it takes to get a medical doctor and a degree as in the college. Nurses still outperform medical doctors in that way. And it's unjust and unfair. It's just not right that medical doctors are the ones who just get all this credit when the nurses should. And that's the point of this video, is I'm pointing out that the nurses are the ones who are getting the bruises because patients hit them. Nurses are and their certified nurses assistants are the ones that are getting peed on, pooped on, They're the ones that have to help the patient up and go bring them to the bathroom. And sometimes that gets really nasty too. The certified nurses assistants and registered nurses are the ones who deal with everything from the time the patient comes in to the time the patient leaves. And everything in between. The bitching, the moaning, the complaining, the people who think that the H on the hospital stands for Hilton Hotels. And I know there are plenty of registered nurses out there that definitely know what I mean by that. Anyway, they deal with the abuse, the verbal attacks, the hysteria, the mental illnesses of the patients, and everything literally in between. You name it, nurses and certified nurses assistants have dealt with it. Guaranteed. And it doesn't take very long for them to start dealing with this shit either. On the first day, you could be dealing with shit, poop, piss, everything. Some dude whacking his junk off to you, you name it, you know? They have dealt with that. But you know what? Registered nurses and certified nurses assistants, they keep a smile on and they tolerate it, they deal with it, and they power through that shit. Literally, that shit. And of course, figuratively speaking too. They power through it, they go through it, and for 12 hours, they make it through it. And I see no greater honor than to point that out and to give my thanks to all registered nurses, all certified nurses assistants, all nurse aides, everything to do with that immediate care and that long-term service to each and every patient. And I'm not just saying this because of COVID. COVID has only given me that much more greater of an appreciation for nurses. But I'm talking even before COVID hit. Because well before COVID, these nurses were still dealing with the same things. And if anything, COVID has only made it worse for them. But you know what? Even with them dealing with their fatigue and being burned out, they still show up every day that they're supposed to. And they push through those 12 plus hours every day for you, me, and everyone else out there. They are so self-sacrificial and so humble and dedicate their time to making sure that you and I and everyone else are okay, taken care of, and healed. I don't see anything more selfless than that. Sure, you can say that maybe police are on that same level, but you don't see all nurses are bastards or anything like that type slogan out there either, because you know nurses aren't doing the things police are. So if we want to get really nitpicky with every little detail to see which one's better, nurses are better. No matter what stresses, no matter what conditions that they're under, no matter the environment, nurses always, and their assistants, always, and go through with everything. They still remain selfless, no matter how badly they've been treated over the years, no matter how much crap they've had to literally and figuratively deal with. They still stick through and they still show up every goddamn day. Not a lot of people can do that. And so the fact that there are so many that can and that do shows not only a willpower and a determination that I don't know, many people that could, but it gives a great honor from me to them that I don't bestow upon many people. You know, usually the levels of honor and respect and dignity and just, you know, goes towards Grand Master Sifus, you know, 10th degree black belts, Sifus, Buddhist monks, people of that nature, you know. And I just haven't, I don't feel like I've ever truly expressed just how much gratitude and appreciation and honor and respect that I have for the registered nurses out there, and the certified nurses assistants as well, and nurse aides, and people who take care of the elderly, and people of that nature. And I personally would like you guys to know, you women and men and women of the nursing field, and certified nurses, nurses aides, so on and so forth, just know there are people other than myself out there that do realize the hardship you go through, all the shit that you deal with, all the hard work that you go through. And let me tell you this, we appreciate you. I am more than grateful for people like you out there. And while you may not get many thanks from many people, just know that whether it's after they get home or maybe in their head, but they do thank you. And I wish more people would say thank you to you, because it's the least they could do. The absolute least they could do. And because of the fact that I don't have very many medical situations that come up, I obviously don't get this chance to do so. So I'm doing in the only way that I know that I can, other than personally going in there and being random, I guess, and being like, thank you, thank you, thank you, you know, is in this video format on YouTube. And I'll probably post it on Facebook too. But nonetheless, I just want to, you know, send this off with a final thank you, registered nurses, certified nurse assistants, nurse aides, and everyone in between. Medical doctors, I appreciate you too, but you guys don't deserve half as much of the glory as these nurses do. So, thank you, registered nurses, certified nurses, assistants, and nurse aides. Until next time.